Welcome back to Legal Voyage YouTube channel. Today also I wish to discuss another important topic under the law of delict, which is Actio Injuriarum. If you have watched my video on law of delict, there I have described that there are two types of delict, namely damnum injuria datum and injuria. The action available for damnum injuria datum is called an Aquilian action, and I have made a separate video for Aquilian action, which I will put the link in the description box below. You can refer to it also. And in this video I'm going to discuss about Actio Injuriarum, which is the action available for an injuria or a sentimental loss. So this is Hannah, and Hannah is an accountant by profession. One morning she wakes up to find out that her colleague Amy has published a post stating that Hannah is not a qualified accountant and she is a cheater. Now Hannah wants to take action against Amy for this false allegation. Hannah comes to you and asks what is the type of action that she can take to claim damages from Amy for the defamation that was caused to her. In this case, Hannah has not suffered any pecuniary loss, but she has definitely suffered an injuria or a sentimental loss. So Hannah can go to courts and file an action under Actio Injuriarum. In this instance, she has to prove two elements to establish the liability of Amy. As the plaintiff, Hannah has to prove that Amy's act constituted an impairment of her personality. Also, she has to prove that there was animus injuriandi or wrongful intent on the part of the defendant. If Hannah is successful in proving both these elements, then she will be able to claim damages from Amy. So let's talk about these two elements separately. Impairment of a plaintiff's personality includes impairment of one's person, dignity, and reputation. These are the interests protected by Actio Injuriarum. For example, assaults, defamatory or insulting words concerning another, restraint upon the liberty of another, malicious institution of criminal proceedings against another, insults to female chastity or modesty, breach of promise to marry. All these amount to impairment of plaintiff's personality. So in the case of Hannah, if Hannah can prove that the post published by Amy contained defamatory or insulting words which impaired Hannah's dignity and reputation, then Hannah can successfully establish the first element. So here I have laid down some cases which shows how a person's personality could be impaired in different ways. In Ashby versus White, it was held to prevent a parliamentary elector from exercising his vote is an injuria. Also, forcing a person to quit a tram car in which he is lawfully traveling, or to spy upon a woman through a window while she was undressing, and breach of promise to marry in circumstances so humiliating to the plaintiff. All these amount to impairment of the plaintiff's personality. So you have to remember that there are different ways that a person's personality could be impaired. The second element to be proved is animus injuriandi. This is the subjective element of injuria. Here what the plaintiff has to prove is that the defendant had the intention of subjecting the plaintiff to an injuria. So in the example that we took, Hannah has to prove that Amy's act impaired her person, dignity and reputation, and that was intentional. However, in the case of Whittaker versus Rose, Justice Solomon states, to prove animus injuriandi, it is not necessary to prove ill will or motive. the plaintiff has to prove that the act was not negligent or accidental but was done by the defendant with deliberate intention. So here Hannah has to prove that Amy's act was not negligent or accidental but it was deliberately done by Amy. Also, you need to remember that there is a presumption of law that the defendant had in view the necessary consequences of his or her conduct. So, in the example, the law will always presume that Amy had in view the necessary consequences of her conduct when she posted false allegations about Hannah. However, Amy can rebut this presumption of law if she can prove that she did not know that her act would involve an impairment of Hannah's personality. Only if she can rebut the presumption, she can negate liability. Otherwise, if Hannah successfully proves both elements under Actio Injuriarum, then she can claim damages for her injuria. Thank you for watching the video. I hope now you have a clear idea as to what is a Quillian action as well as Actio Injuriarum, the two main actions under the law of delict. If you haven't watched my previous videos, I have put the links in the description box. Please go through those also. And if you still have any questions, you can comment or even email me. So thank you for watching, and I will come back with another interesting lesson. Thank you.